How's it going, everyone? Sethphir here, and welcome back to another Tower of Fantasy video. I hope that everyone had a great holidays and Thanksgiving, and now we are back into the action with some more TOF content. We're going to talk today about Twilight Zone, the new sort of map area that has been announced or released within Tower of Fantasy, and today is going to be my guide containing secrets, tips, and tricks on this new zone so you can get all the rewards and goodies. And there are quite a lot. If you take a look at the map here, you can see a separate zone for each section of Vera, which means there are tons of things to discover. And on top of that, you're going to get many red summons, as well as the gold spacetime crystals, and some key components to unlocking a new outfit for your Mia follower. So it's going to be some really nice stuff coming in here, but the way it works with the rewards is there are two things to hunt in the Twilight Zone. It's very simple. You're looking for secret boxes and spacetime crystals. That's pretty much it. There are gold and purple spacetime crystals within the Twilight Zone, as well as the secret boxes, which seem to contain a variety of things. I've gotten old Vera coins, I've gotten a red summon from special ones. Usually you get crystal dust as well, so you will get quite a lot of goodies here for your time spent. So you're going to want to make sure to explore this, and each section of Vera will have a separate Twilight Zone reward track, so you can get quite a lot of currency. As you can see here, 40 shards, 2 red summons, a lot of goodies, and this is going to be ×3, so you're going to want to go ahead and enter this and make sure that you claim all of these goodies for yourself. So first, before we get into that, I do have some Tower of Fantasy codes that are working right now. You can enter these codes in. That's for everybody. You can use them one time per account, so go ahead and type these in. I'm going to pop them up on the screen. You should be able to get some summons, some dark crystals, some gold, some relic shard boxes. There's all kinds of stuff here. I think there's 5 in total. There was 6. One was working yesterday. Now it's not, so that's a little sad. So we went ahead and left that one off the list. But here they are. Here's some free codes and goodies for you guys. Now let's talk about the Twilight Zone. The Twilight Zone requirements: you must be level 80 in order to enter the Twilight Zone. That is the requirement. As stated here, you can see on the screen, level 80 is required. Once you have obtained that, you are good to go inside of the Twilight Zone. How does it work? The way it works is there is a pseudo 8-hour timer. However, you could just leave the Twilight Zone and enter back into the Twilight Zone whenever you want. So it's basically no point in this timer. You cannot teleport while inside the Twilight Zone. It will TP you out, just like the Dark Zone. However, since you can enter back in, maybe it doesn't matter after all in the grand scheme of things. But the big catch is that there is reduced healing inside of the Twilight Zone, very similar to the Wormhole series, and you cannot use food while you are inside there. It's just kind of like disabled. It doesn't work. So keep that in mind. There are ways to heal up, though. Don't worry about that. The core mechanic inside of the Twilight Zone is going to be crystals. Crystals are very important. There are multiple colors of crystals. The red crystal will give you increased damage to monsters. The yellow crystal will give you the ability to fear monsters away from you and even push their knocked out corpses if they're near a box or an objective that you want to get, which will be important for solving puzzles. The white crystal will allow you to have a bigger illumination effect around you so that you can see better. This one hasn't been particularly too useful for me. The green crystal is very, very important. It will give you HP regeneration constantly and keep you at full health. In addition to that, it does seem to contain the key to unlocking a lot of the secret boxes or puzzles. And then we have the purple, my personal favorite, which will give you speed and the ability to reveal shadows or hidden objects, which also contains a lot of the majority locked secret boxes. So that's going to be how the crystals work. In my opinion, the big TLDR there is going to be make sure you have the purple crystal, use that to travel around because it's going to get you around town faster. And then the green crystal, keep your eye out for it because you will need to heal up eventually. I will also say that before you go into the Twilight Zone, I would highly recommend having an interactive map so that you can find all of the secret box locations and target the gold spacetime fragments. This is going to help you get the most bang for your buck while you're inside of the Twilight Zone, as well as allow you to track the items that you have found. So this is going to be very important because if you're going for that 100% completion to obtain the Mia costume and all of the other rewards inside of there, it's going to get a little bit messy if you pick up objects here and there and you don't know what you have picked up. So make sure that you are tracking and recording. With the interactive map, you can simply hit the found button and mark it off your map so that you know which items you have found, and you're not doubling back and searching all over the place for a certain one that you may have missed. And you can just systematically go through and unlock every single reward that there is to collect within the Twilight Zone. So I will strongly recommend that. I'm going to put a link in the description down below to the map that I use. There are several maps. You could go ahead and feel free to use whatever you want. So I would make sure to have that before going into the Twilight Zone and come up with some sort of a game plan on what area you're going to clear out first. When you go into the Twilight Rift, there is quite a lot of monsters inside. These I usually ignore. They're not really that important, right? You don't need to kill them. Killing them doesn't give you anything in particular. And as you can see here on my screen, when I walk inside, I will get a sort of countdown timer at the top. So this is my crystal energy. When my crystal energy comes and runs out, I will start to lose HP. So I'm gonna have to find something new to do. And the way I will restore my crystal energy is by simply going up to any crystal and interacting it with the interact key. And as you can see here, I am charging up. Do keep in mind that your crystal energy is stored on your Mia. So it's actually on your follower. You can see her little like antennas is glowing there, of whatever color it is that she's glowing. So this essentially means that she has the power of the crystal, not you exactly. So you're gonna have to wait for Mia to catch up to you if you want to reveal like any sort of device or something like that. It's gonna be a little bit weird at first. You're gonna be like, wait, what is this? What's going on here? But the whole point is to bring that Mia and match the crystal power to whatever the object is appropriately, right? So you're gonna see a lot of things within the Twilight Zone that are gonna be locked in here. Like this, for example, is gonna be what we were talking about, matching the crystal power. So I would need a purple crystal in order to reveal that. So I would have to find one of those, and I can see one way out here. So let's go ahead and pick it up just as an example of solving it. So I'm going to touch it here. You can let it charge you up to full, or you can just tap it one time to change the color of your Mia, which is going to give the crystal energy resonance. And then I will bring her back to the appropriate puzzle. Since I know it's covered in purple, it is now going to reveal, and I can open up whatever that is and collect the goodies inside. This is pretty much the story of the Twilight Zone. There is nothing super complicated going on here. The only other functionality would be like a secret box, which as you can see over here, there is a secret box in this area. So in order to get this one accessed or available, I think I've actually already got this one, so we'll probably go find another one. But the secret boxes are pretty straightforward, to be honest. All you have to do is simply find them and activate whatever it is their nature is. Sometimes they will be hidden by like a very large enemy, so that is something that can happen, so just keep that in mind. You may have to defeat a boss, but those boxes generally tend to give a much greater result of rewards, so they're definitely worth your time and spending to go ahead and access them. But that's going to be pretty much it for this one. The concept for Twilight Zone is very simple. I know a lot of people were like, oh, what's going on in the Twilight Zone? Why is it so weird? Is there anything I need to worry about? There's really nothing to worry about. It's very straightforward. It's just like, hey, grab the purple crystal, start exploring, find a secret box. Okay, cool, you found a secret box. Go ahead and match the crystal with the element, open it up, and get rewards. And I will say that you will get a large amount of space-time fragments from this, so you're going to be able to purchase combat engine and all kinds of other good stuff as you hunt around the world for certain treasures. So here we can see an example of that crystal box, and I can see that it's locked here with that little crystal on top of it. I know that that is the green crystal shard, so I'm going to go ahead and charge that up and get that over towards the box, and then we'll go ahead and activate that and show you an example of how that would work. So you just simply run up here. Once Mia runs into range, that will activate the secret box, and then you will be able to claim it and collect the goodies inside. And these tend to have the better materials. You will get booster frames, or sorry, booster modules, as well as advancement modules in certain areas. So there could be quite a lot of very high value rewards here. They're going to increase your combat score and increase your power as well. Okay, that's going to be it for this one, everyone. Thanks for watching my guide for the Twilight Zone. I'm going to have several other guides coming up, especially some more later on today. We're going to talk about the astounding research, as well as how to get the gold goggles, and a few farming locations for some very important materials, so make sure to be on the lookout for that. Thanks for your time in watching the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you found this information useful, and we will see you in the next one.